Oh, yes. Isn't clear again. You don't hear me. Please help me out. If you hear me, just let me know you're hearing me. Who we don't have the same issue again. Please help me out if you hear me. Okay, just let me so know you're please hearing me. Check your phone as well because I'm getting a clear sound here. Okay, so yeah. Please check your phone as well because I'm getting. Now you hear me. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so now it's clear. Thank you very much. So let me continue and let's get to business. I believe you all were able to watch last week, and we had a topic on placing value on yourself. As the saying goes, if you don't happy yourself, who go happy you? So even the Bible says that love your neighbor as yourself. Not love your neighbor whilst you hate yourself, not love your neighbor than yourself, but it even says love your neighbor as yourself. So it clearly tells all of us that from those from the religious background or Christian background, you need to love yourself, place value on yourself before you can give it out. Like Ohima will say that you can't give what you don't have, right? And we made mention of some points. So I'll just mention those points, give a brief feedback on what we had, and then we just announced our supporters very quickly, and then we move on. I believe and hope today we will have a bunch of panelists here, those that promise to come, those that are thinking about it, those that are with their flight, and those that are with the train. But meanwhile, Adra Roslav is giving a warm shout out and greetings. Thank you very much. And Evie Akosia says, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Evie. This is TNT. You are so wonderful for being here. Love you so much. That's my kid sister. And I love everyone for being here. So let's move to the point. So we learned last week about, hey, Nana Akosia, please, look at my man. Thumbs up if you're going to come on today because last week they asked you understand. We talked about, acknowledging your inner critics as, sometimes when you're doing something, your inner voice will tell you, don't do it. It is this, it will criticize you. And how do you deal with this inner voice? And we dealt with it. We explained a lot. We also explain what is self worth and what is self value. So if you give yourself a value or you place a value on yourself, then you are worth it. You are worth something. And I think Constant did well explaining that. And the difference between the both is sometimes you value yourself too much with no worth on it. Yeah, you value yourself. Let me slay. You value to you, you value, but nobody values you. Sometimes you place a worth and you don't place the value on it. So it goes hand in hand. You understand? And then we went on in receiving compliments that sometimes you don't even value yourself to be capable of doing something so well that even when you receive a compliment, it's like somebody just threw a stone at you. You are so confused, you don't believe it. And we all testify to it that it's one way or the other, it happens to us in different ways. You understand? So receiving compliments is very important. How you go about it, how you work with it, and then we also talked about let going of comparison. So when you let go of comparison, that is when you stop only comparing yourself to someone who is somewhere who was born differently in a different situation, and you forget about yourself because the only person that or the best person you can compare yourself with happens to be you yourself alone, getting better all the time because there is an amount of strength that you have that you can improve in. You cannot start by somebody who runs, like, let's say, the marathon, and you have never ever even went for, I don't know, 100 meters, and then you start comparing yourself. I need to get there. At the end of the day, you mess up. And then when we hear those inspirational messages and stuff, What do we do with it? People were like, oh, but we still listen to it. Yes, keep on listening to it. The thing is that when you finish listening to it, what do you do with it? Do you be like, oh, Asumasi was so wow, and then you are done? Or are you like giving everyone, hey, you thumbs up, and you are doing nothing? So the main effect or the impact that is supposed to come out of you watching all those people online with their success that at the end of the day, it turns out to be something else, that it was a show, it was whatever. After you listening to it, what do you do with it? And that is, placing value on yourself. So let me quickly go through. We have the Ohima Muchia Adoma Mukase. It's all about cooking. The Queen's Kitchen. One is based in Berlin. That is Adoma Muchia, and Ohima Mukase is all the way from Belgium. Actually, everywhere she has her branches. You understand? So just like Adoma, so if you want to get the cookies, you just gotta contact Asia. We'll link you to them, or just follow them on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. How you find them is very easy. Then we also have Mama Triple N, Mama Triple N, also on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, demonstrating family life and healthy food stuff, and the energy drinks that you can do without going to buy Red Bull. Like me myself buying Red Bull. So you just follow up and you find hair on it. Then we have Gigi Bands. It's all about the creational stuff, the bottles that you think that, oh, I can just throw it away. She recycles those things and make it look just wonderful. You understand? So follow up Gigi Bands. She doesn't only do the recreational stuff. She's also into shito, special shito. The shito that you eat and you feel très bien. You understand? So then we have Tally Food. Tally Food is all about African food. If you want the best food, just visit Tally Food and they will make you feel yummy. You understand? Of course, you understand. Then we have D Rocket Fashion. It's all about African wear, the best African wear you can ever get. Nowhere else but by D Rocket Fashion. Linked to Afrit Wool, where you can find the best of African stuff, be it articraft, be it uh, anything you can find in Africa. When you get to Afrique is waiting for you there. It's a platform where we want to make the African market great again. I'm not going to talk about it too much, because if 2022 you don't know that you have to invest in African products and make African market great again, then it's up to you. Sorry about that. That you need to grow up. So visit Afrifo, visit D Rocket Fashion, and you make it. Then we have Royal Consult. Royal Consult is helping you with the home office and everything. Linked up with Wow Gathering, that is women empowerment. Women love yourself. That is the Wow Gathering. Yeah, women of wonder. That is what it says. So visit all these pages and make sure you are liking and following them. You understand? So Randy Pani says that good evening, bro. Good evening, Randy Pani. It's been a long time. I believe very soon we will have you here on the platform. I believe so much. And yeah, we'll miss you. So big ups, greetings all the way from Frankfurt City. So exactly where you are. So let's continue with today. I'm praying and hoping that our panelists will join us very soon. I can see one beautiful one shining there, sipping on the tea. Compensable. That everybody is beautiful on this platform. Everybody looks good and wonderful. But there's this particular person, when she just step on the platform, there has to be sunshine wherever you are. And that is where I'm going to introduce her. So like I said, hitting on the stuff that we did, we observed some things. People came up with some comments, and men don't observe and do not know how to value their women. I will put the some there, because some men, and I think in the modern world, 2022, most men are upgrading. So I hope that that statement, we will prove the woman wrong on that. And then empowering yourself. Please, when it comes to valuing yourself, placing value on yourself, people quickly mistaking that part for the arrogance. Being arrogant doesn't mean you value yourself. Being arrogant can also be You don't even have anything, but you're just Gemma saying that's a who you're just arrogant for nothing. So they will say talk is cheap and place your mouth where your money did, or place your money where your mouth did. However, one thing we want women to know that you are special. Yes, you are special from mommy, from sister, from auntie, to our daughters. Women, you are special. You need to know how special you are. Don't just give out yourself all in the name of trend. Don't give out yourself all in the name of slaying, because the only slaying you are doing is, I don't know, slumbering or whatever. You're just hitting the ground. He says that your partner hang around people that want to see you up. You need to hang yourself or get around people that want to see. When they see you prospering, they are happy for you. Not people that are around you, you give them ideas, they steal it. People that are around you, immediately you are rising, they try to pull you down with a PhD. You understand? These are not the people you are supposed to identify yourself with or move with. Giving to each other. Be selective. That is one thing. Being selective. Once again, let me correct. Let me bring it up. Being selective doesn't mean you're arrogant or that I have my class and everything. Being selective is knowing what you want and trying to be in that lane. So if I want, there are some people that say I'm not selective. My dear, sorry, you have to be selective. Oh, yeah, I mean, have a choice. And when you have that choice, that is how you flow with it. You understand? Be selective. Choose your friends wisely. Know how to go about with them. Do things that motivates you. Don't just do anything because everybody's doing it. It's called peer pressure. At the end of the day, you will slack because that is not your thing. And don't be. I love that one. That is what our sister Jennifer said. Don't be a garbage truck. We can dump it on you. Anything, anything there. I mean, value yourself. It says that I think it went directly with don't settle for less, right? So start your day with a smile. That is what we got to. So the next day, I started my day with a smile, and on my page, people were laughing because it was not only a smile, it was a laughter. Well, let's continue today. We have some point. We want to hit points like how to value yourself, be grateful for every effort, practice, compliments, give out compliments, give attention to your dreams, find way to serve others, don't settle for less, and when in doubt, remember your perseverance. So these are the points for today, and I believe that my panelists are going to add more to it. So let me quickly add our sunshine in the rain as she sip on her tea. There's this word I'm sipping on my tea. Good evening, sunshine.
Evening. Evening. I'm fine. I'm fine. A little bit tired, but I'm good.
Oh, I'm dragging you guys here. So depending your bed, that's so. Oh,
No, no, no. I have slept, mother.
I've slept. Okay,
I have pampered myself.
that's wonderful.
How are
So
you too?
I'm okay. I'm very much okay. Just a little bit hot here with the lights and everything, but I'm cool.
Then my light is not good though.
So
It's not hot.
it's not hot.
It's not
Remember at the end, you are melting. Yes. Today, I think Malcolm promised to join us, so we are in for a surprise. Let's see if
Mm,
he join us today.
okay.
Let me quickly add my twin, that is Constance. This is Constance in the rain.
Yeah, it's raining today, so it's
Yes,
been a
Yeah,
whole
it's
rainy
raining
day.
all day. Good evening.
good evening. How are you all? You are all shining. How do they say you are blushing?
Mm,
Yeah, flash.
I remember I
Yeah.
don't know if you watched it. There was this program that came on, I think, on TV3 or something like that. And then they were supposed to guess a word, and the word was blushing.
Mm-hmm.
I think Caleb was it? No, it was not Caleb. It was Caleb's
Is it
was
a charade that you have to act for somebody to tell the word?
yes, yes. And the
Mm-hmm.
guy was like, I said, no, it's not brushing.
blushing.
You see, oh, the R and the L.
And it went through. So I asked myself, what was this platform doing? And I think it was GTV.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So welcome back. I think last week, Constance, you were here, so you have the flow. You know what's up. And Sunshine and Rain is joining us today. Nana Akosio Obenewa is watching from behind, so let me send her the link. Maybe we are lucky to get her in here today. Stella and Jennifer wanted to join, but I probably think they might be busy, so no problem. Placing value on yourself. Let me quickly start with Sunshine in the Rain, because everybody had to explain what they think about it. So what is your definition for placing value, or what is value on itself?
Value on oneself, or even value on an item whatsoever, is knowing the worth of whatever you have, and holding it in high esteem. As in, so if it's me that I'm placing value on myself, I would not belittle myself. I would know that I'm created in God's image. I am also worth something. I'm not a useless person, no matter whatever it is. I am part of society. I'm part of my family. I'm part of my home. I mean a lot to, I mean, I can't be a vacuum. Wherever there is a vacuum, whenever I go there, that vacuum must be filled. So that is what I believe is the meaning of placing value on yourself, knowing your worth, and therefore you do not allow anyone to belittle you or make you feel inferior or make you feel less of a person.
Wonderful. Nana Kosia says that sunshine in the light.
Oh, my light. My light is too bright, right?
Hello, everyone. Come again, please.
My light is too bright, I think.
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
So welcome everybody for watching. Please do us a favor, just invite and share so that people can share their opinion and help us with this topic. Yes, so today we are going to go straight into some points, and I believe today we will be done. But let me quickly ask this thing. Why is it that most women have a problem in placing value on themselves? Yeah,
As in, is it a negative way or positive way? Because for me, I think maybe, I don't know, but those within my circle, yes, they are not the type who are afraid placing value on themselves. In fact, they even raise their value very, very high. That they have the aspects with them. So if you want to sort of be part, you shouldn't just come you shouldn't just be anybody. You should come with a value to add, because already there are values. So if you are coming to add to it, then you should come with a whole package yourself.
Yes.
So I don't know, maybe if majority of women, whether they feel less worthy of themselves or what. Maybe you have to ask the question a bit well for me to.
Okay, thank you for that room. Before then, I see Ohima here. Hey, Ohima, thank God you are fair when you were
I might hiding in the dark.
Yes, so
sunshine in the light.
Welcome to TNT.
Thank you. Please, can you see me?
Yes.
Where are you hiding?
Okay.
Where are you?
Oh, sunshine! I'm home. I'm in bed. I'm exhausted. Oh, shame on you.
Yeah, so to the question as Constant was asking, okay, so as placing value on themselves in the sense that it goes both ways, and mostly I see both as negative. The other one is, they think that they have to be under a kind of high power. Let's say the man has to say go, then you go, because you are worth nothing without your partner or your friends, for example. Then we have the other class that, because of society and the way trend is moving, they need to expose certain parts and stuff to show that they are placing value on themselves, whilst they're actually downgrading that value. That is what I say. So
okay, I now get it.
Mhm.
I think when you even started, you said that you should be selective.
Mhm.
Yeah. If you know your worth very well, you don't take anybody as a friend.
Mhm.
You see, there are women within a certain class. Much as we say it, there are various classes amongst women. They are the very low class, the middle class, the high class. So it depends on how you place yourself. For me, I wouldn't really mingle with people who are less motivated.
Mhm.
People who feel, oh, as for me, I can't do anything. As for me, there are some people who are like, everything is okay for they just don't want to move forward. They just don't have the zeal to improve on their life. Those people, you wouldn't really find me there. I would like to be with the women empowerment group where we can really uplift ourselves, where we can really do something for our society, do something better with our life.
Mhm.
It's not just maybe because we've gone to school or something. Somebody might even be an illiterate or semi-literate due to certain circumstances, but you see that the brain behind whatever she is doing it very, very well. So for such people, you can really motivate. You can tell, oh, let's do it this way. I can give you direction. You know, it's always the one that we like. We have a certain vision. We
Mhm.
are not like 18th century mothers where marriage was the end of their world.
Mhm.
Once they are married, they feel everything is okay. Be at home, give birth, keep the home. No, in this modern world, it's not like that. We marry, but then we also add value to our marriage and our lives in general.
Mhm.
You don't just come to our marriage and I have 2 or 3 kids, so life must end there. No, there is there are a lot of things that you have to do, impact your society, impact your home, even your kids that you are bringing up, and let your husband know that no, I'm not just somebody I married. It's somebody I'm adding even value to his life.
Mhm.
So that is the kind of people I would mingle with. Other than those who see themselves less of themselves, all they need is gossiping, jealousing other people, those kind of things you wouldn't really find me there. So probably those people, when they see you, they think, oh, as for you, maybe you are too high or you are something, or probably you don't respect. But it's not about respect, it's just knowing your self-worth, that
True.
you just don't take any trash at
Mm.
all. You know the value you have placed yourself. So you know the people you mingle. You even know how to talk in public.
Wow. Thank you very much. Ohima, since you are coming on today and I was expecting you last week, let me bombard you with this one. When men always say that, that woman I married had to bring something to the table, bring something to
Mhm.
the table. Mepacho, can you explain a little bit of what
Dining table or with table.
dining table is? What do they?
Yeah. Bringing something to the table, sometimes it depends on where the person is coming from or where the person is standing, because sometimes some people will just say it for just saying it because they've heard it and they are just also going with the flow. But sometimes when they also say, what are you bringing to the table? Then it means like, what do you have that you want to add to my life?
Mhm.
Because you being a helper, because the Bible, we that we believe in the Bible, tells us that women, we are helpmates. So
Mhm.
going into a man's life, what are you going to help him with? And
Mhm.
before I come to meet you, it means that you will be already doing something. You shouldn't just be there idle. He's doing something that I'm coming to add something to it. So the thing that I'm coming to add or the value that I'll place on you is bringing something to the table. When I bring kids, I'm adding something to the table. When I bring, yes, when I bring ideas, I'm adding something to the table. When our finances, when we have good finance at home, I'm bringing something to the table. So for me, if you ask me what am I bringing to the table, I'll tell you I'm the table itself. So I'm in. And since you are the chopper, like we are in to just do it. So
Like
yeah.
one. If you're at the table, then they chop, not chop.
So for me, that is what I will say. Yeah.
Okay, that's
So yeah.
Because I think I was discussing with my dear sister yesterday, and we got to know that some men don't even know what they are talking about. Bring to the table, bring to the table, bring to the table. At the end of the day, you have brought everything to the table. They are still not satisfied because they don't even know they've heard it. It sounds good.
Mhm,
It sounds good.
Mm,
mhm,
Something
yeah.
to the table. So even if I bring cola, I brought something to the table, they don't know. And then they'll be worrying you, the woman, you came to my life and blending and then you see. So that's why I wanted to have a second opinion on that.
mhm,
So I
mhm.
believe that yes, we don't know why we say bring something to the table. At least. So Ohima said that in the tradition and society, okay, it's the tradition and society. In our tradition, the woman is the lesser vessel. Okay, so we downgrade women. That is what Ajua is saying. And one bottle of malt for Constance from Nathan. So she will send it per DHL. Let's move to our placing value on yourself. We spoke about, letting go of comparison. We spoke about acknowledging your inner critics and accepting. No, we didn't get there, right? We just spoke about three. Receive a compliment. So I want to get into this part. Be grateful for efforts. Sometimes we men, and I'll say we men, we don't value certain things that women do. Let's say, for example, the woman is not working and the woman is taking care of the kids at home, which is common in Europe or Germany per se. And we think that, oh, you have been home with the kids, you didn't do anything. I came, my food is not there, and blah, 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 blah. And if you have one child, sometimes it's even difficult and to have two, three, four. And the woman becomes so less valued in the sense that they think that true, I've been home, I haven't accomplished anything. So I was discussing with one lady, and she said that something. Anytime you even pick up a pen, your plan for today was to finish 20 things, and you are able to achieve one. You need to be grateful for that effort. So let me just open up. What do you think about that? Being grateful for the efforts that you do in a day. Let's start with sunshine because I think sunshine the light.
Mhm.
So I would say like self-care and mindfulness, um we should be mindful of the things that we impact around us, the people we impact around us, what we do, how beneficial is what we do around us to people, even our family, you understand. So you get up and you take care of the house, you take care
Mm-hmm,
of the children, you take care of whatever that needs to be taken care of. You've taken care of that. And your partner, like you are saying, is not seeing that or is thinking you didn't do much, or you yourself think you have not achieved much in doing. Are you a superhero? What do you want to achieve more than what you have been able to do? You
mm-hmm,
understand? You woke up, your strength, your power told you this is what and what and what you can do. You do them unless you are extremely lazy and you had time on your hands and refuse to do nothing. But
mm-hmm,
if you are mindful of yourself, you set goals, you get up, you do what you can do. Of course, you might not be able to finish everything, but what is necessary needs to be done.
mm-hmm,
And then self-care also, I would say, is also very important because you don't do all these things by losing yourself in the process. You also have to acknowledge yourself so that you don't get stressed, you don't get depressed, you don't get frustrated. You
mm-hmm,
have to um, acknowledge yourself that you are also somebody who is also doing something. So you have to pamper yourself a little bit, take care of yourself a little bit. What you don't expect somebody to do that for you because the person, no, no, I mean, everybody is supposed to take care of him or herself, unless children that we are taking care of. So you're
mm-hmm,
supposed to give yourself some time. You're supposed to do what will also make you happy. If it's all running up all day, and then you come back and you feel like sitting down, and not do anything for like an hour or half an hour and do what is good for you, a hobby or something. You do that, and then nobody looks down upon you, or you don't feel weighed that I just have been running around and I have not been able to achieve this, or I have, you understand, don't put too much stress on yourself. Know that everything you are doing is within your means, is within your like your possible means. You can do what you are doing. You are doing what you are doing. You are doing it best.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no pressure on you, and then you don't feel like you are not achieving anything, as if like you are not being part of what is going on around the society or the home or the family. But you are doing something. Every little thing you are doing is really appreciated.
Thank you very much. Ohima and our Constance, I think.
Yeah. I think what Sunshine said, like self-love is important, but one thing we also need to put on the table, or one thing that we also need to know is appraisal. Like appraisal motivates people.
Mm-hmm.
And the painful thing on this earth is that when you are not being motivated or when you are not being appraised for what you are doing, because sometimes you think, oh, I'm doing my best, like I'm bringing the best out of me, but the next person close to you or the next person beside you doesn't see anything because they are expecting more from you. It's like they've set a target for you, and it's like you're not hitting the target, but your strength is not up to their target.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I think you need to have, after that self love, you need to also have that self appraisal. Like, this is my strength, these are my weakness, this is what I can do, this is where I can get to. So, no matter what people say, no matter what the next person is saying, I am I am less concerned about it because that is what I can do. That is my output. Example is what you mentioned earlier on. It's like most men or some men think, oh, when we are in Europe, it's like, you know, when you leave kids at home and then you come home and the place is not tidy to their expectation, it's like you didn't do anything at all. But Minister D, we all bear witness to it that taking kids to even the crash is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And then also tonight, I will take this opportunity to say that even sometimes when you take your kids to the crash or when you take them to that sorry, I was going to speak in Dutch. When you take them to the kindergarten, yeah, it's not like they have a perfect place there.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the way we even treat the children, it's appalling. So it's better for the kids to have the mother love, to have their mothers around if you can,
Mm-hmm.
or if you have a partner that will support that thing, than even putting them in that crash. Yes, they will learn something, but then when they have that mother love from the beginning, it also gives that child the love that or the bond that they need to have, because they don't have it 100% perfect in the schools. And like we should know that when, as Sunshine said, you already have your goals, you have your targets, even at the workplace or whatever thing that you are doing, you know, this is the output that I can do. So don't look at the next person beside you, but you need to have your own self-love, and then have your own self-appraisal. And then you need to motivate yourself. Don't wait for people to just praise you or motivate you or tell you, oh, you are doing well or something, but shift the table yourself and tell yourself that when I enter, tables or corners are going to shift. So that is what I would say.
Thank you very much. So
No,
that.
okay, so just to add a little to what my sisters have already said, one of the people who really do a lot is ladies who are able to sort of maintain themselves and then keep kids at home too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an easy task. Me, I've never really been a full time let's say taking care of kids full time. But maybe the little that maybe over the because I'm working over the weekends if I have time. In fact, the stress that I go through, I'm like, hey, so you are able to do this 7 days a week. It's not easy. Me, I always say, no woman is a superhuman. You could be a career woman, maybe you have kids, but you have somebody taking care of your kids, or probably you take your kids to target muta or kindergarten or whichever you think is okay for you. Even at the kindergarten and the crèche stuff, it's not 100% guaranteed. Sometimes that is where the kids, sometimes they get certain diseases from there.
Mm.
Sometimes due to poor handling, some of them can get certain disabilities. I know, a case even happened in Ghana where just one nanny within a crèche was feeding an 18-month-old baby. She was just pushing the food, and the child choked. By the time they got to the hospital, the girl was dead. It was a
And
big
Sister
issue
Constant,
in
please,
Ghana.
it's not even in Ghana. Even here in Europe, they
Mhm.
are doing it because I also I take care of kids in the school, and sometimes when these kids even eat and then it falls on the ground, like some teachers pick it and put it direct in their mouth. You understand? So even here in Europe, things are happening that we don't see. The children can cry the whole day, and when the parents enter, they will tell you, "Oh, the child was good today. Everything was perfect." So yeah, sorry to just come.
Yeah, and that's very, very true. So if a woman decides that or dedicates herself to take care of the kids at home, and then you, the man, you come, you're like, oh, you are lazy, you're not really, they don't really see the impact of what you're doing. Maybe you should just leave one day the kids for the man, and then let them just one day or even half a day. Some of them, if you don't take time, you tell them by the time you get to me, he's even about to sell one of the kids. It's not easy. And modern day kids are different breeds of kids.
Mm-hmm.
They are so active, they are so inquisitive. It's like, and they are so full of themselves. you know. So whatever we do, we need to really appreciate each other, because sometimes there are things, in fact, I can't do, even though I'm a woman, I can't do it. But if somebody is able, another woman is able to dedicate her time, keep herself, keep the home, keep the kids, the number of appointments that you have to go when you have kids in this Europe here. Every time there is a termine for you, you need to take the kid here, you need to take, and it's always the women who are doing all this. It's not an easy thing, but then we really need to appreciate ourselves. Nothing is less.
Mm-hmm.
The man is going to work to keep the family together, and the woman is also helping keep the family together. So we are all supposed to sort of complement each other. That whatever we are doing, I mean, we should pat our back and say we should keep on doing it. After all, the kids will be a little bit older. Very soon they will start school, and you have a bit of time for yourself. The woman can also work to support the home.
Thank you very much. We have Yvonne Kariba says hi, and Natalie says that you have to be confident of your own self. And Natalie goes on saying, don't look at what someone is doing, but be proud of yourself. And then Yvonne says that, Ohima, you are right. Thank you very much. Because the thing is that, as you said, it is always from one's perspective. I wonder when I come home, everything is clean and everything is whatever, and we still have this kind of superior thing, and the woman is down. Because I personally think if you really appreciate what your partner is doing, whether the man or the woman, whoever is taking care of the kids or whoever is home, you get to know that it's not an easy task. And every man on this platform who is joining or might join will definitely admit to it that these kids that we always say, well, what did you do at home and blah, blah, blah. If you leave them for us for a day, we might, I think Costa said that we might start selling them, or when you come in, it will be a different history ball game altogether. So we need to appreciate you. But first of all, you, the woman, you need to admit what you have done the whole day. You have been able to clean the bathroom. It's a goal. Because sometimes the kid will not even allow you to even move a step. You understand? So it is important by, placing value on yourself to also appreciate yourself, as you have all said. And thank you for that. I think the next step is, it says that don't settle for less. What will come in the mind of a woman when you hear don't settle for less? Because I'm not talking about money. Don't settle for less. What? How does it come in with a placing value on yourself?
Sunshine will go.
I see. Yes, yes.
The Constance can really read my lips. You know, the factors of these topics is categorically. So I would say, you know, there are different types of or classes of women, mothers. Um, if you say someone should not settle for less, and the person has already settled for less, like got married very early and is still in the marriage, and the marriage is not the correct one. When you say don't settle for less, that person will just be looking at you and be wondering, what should I do? You understand? And then when you say don't settle for less, and you are talking to maybe somebody who is yet to go into marriage or relationship, or somebody who is already a single parent and is going into. So when you bring don't settle for less, it's like a Bible quotation that goes for everybody in different angles. You understand? So don't settle for less. In my opinion, I would say when you know what you want, when you know how you want to be treated, when you know when to do your things, and of course, you cannot be so arrogant, adamant to everyone around you, but you have to know when you want to do what you have to do. So you don't let people push you around. You don't let
Mhm.
someone push you around, your partner push you around, or someone push you around. You are a go-getter. You know what you are doing. You are not just there and being there. You know, there are some women, they are like Eba. You know, they will just be there.
Yeah, like what?
Eba. Eba. You know, Eba. But doesn't have, when you finish preparing it and you put it down, the way you put it there is just there like that and getting stronger. You know, so there are some women like that. And these are the women who men will be pushing around. But if you know yourself and you know when to get up and do what you have to do, I don't think that somebody is going to push you around and say, and why haven't you done this? And why haven't you done this and that and that and that? So then that will bring you back to don't settle for less. Because if you don't have any value placed in you, you will just be there. And it is somebody who will have to tell you, hey, now you woke up this morning, won't you do this? And won't you do that? And won't you do that? So, but if the person looks at you and looks at your face and see that you wash your face for her to, I know some of the things when I'm saying is harsh, so I have to laugh. So that it sound appetizing. You know, the person looks at your face and sees that this is a correct one sitting down there, or this is a correct one sitting down there. The person will not just talk to you anyhow or treat you anyhow. You understand? You look at somebody's face before you treat the person or talk to the person anyhow. Therefore, when you don't know the person and you do that, when you get to know the person, you apologize. You understand? So not settling for less, in my own opinion, it's a broad topic. But from one side where I would hit is you actually know what you are doing. Nobody will tell you what to do. And so anybody cannot treat you or talk to you anyhow.
Thank you very much. Yes, I think who's going next? Constance microphone is on. So
Okay. I was just thinking about it that most often, when you know the value that you've placed on yourself, in fact, you wouldn't go in for less. You will not settle for less. But there are circumstances that when you get to, you realize, well, after this, I don't even have a choice. It looks like I'm going for the barest minimum.
mm,
You know, most example is like we migrants in Europe.
mhm,
Sometimes maybe you've done your master's, you have your degree, you think, oh, for me, this shouldn't really be my position. You have
Mm-hmm.
all the hopes, but you get to foreign land and you realize that you are nobody. You know, finding your way about is a bit difficult,
Mm-hmm.
but you really need to survive. You go for the barest minimum until I started reading certain stuff, especially in Deutschland here, the opportunities, even the salary range of university graduates. And I'm like, wow, all we are doing is probably going for cleaning 2 hours, 4 hours, and we are so
Mhm.
happy that we've got euros. When you go and change it into Ghana city, it's so much. You think, oh, I mean, that is your final destination. But I'm like, no, 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 that is not even what we are even supposed to go in for. But the sort of information that we get when we get here,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So it's like the best is to you yourself finding your way out, gather information. This language here is not that easy, but then
Mhm.
with technology you can easy sort of maneuver your way out. You can easily translate stuff. Sometimes the words are so heavy when you, but if you take your time and translate, you see that it's as simple, the very simple English that they are trying to say to you. So if we can do that, if you can do a lot of research, probably the graduates who come here chasing after cleaning jobs, you see that that is not what you are even supposed to settle for.
Yes.
There are a lot you can do that you wouldn't settle for what you think you are gaining. You see, maybe some people are like, oh, you can't say, oh, you just give birth, get this, you get the social and just be there. You are settling for the barest minimum. There are a lot of things, a lot of opportunities. Until we joined this AMD group, that I got to know that even with house building that you do, the opportunities that you get here,
Mm-hmm.
you can really compare it to other nationals, other European nationals who come here, because they are the ones always taking advantage of the good things in the system.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst we Africans, we think, oh, because of my skin color, because I don't understand the language, because this, you just go and do cleaning 4 hours, 2 hours, and you think you've made some money, so you are okay. You shouldn't. That's why we shouldn't really settle for less. Than when we come, maybe we might be an underdog somewhere. But if you know the value, or if you know you have a purpose for your life, you go through the mill to study the system, choose the one that will best fit for you, and then you also take advantage of it. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Mhm. Yeah. I think you've said it all, but also what I will add is that sometimes we don't even have our goals or the objectives that we want in life.
Mm-hmm.
So when I know that, as Sister Constance said, I'm coming to Germany and the language is going to be difficult for me, you need to lay down your goals, or you need to lay down the objectives or what you want to do. So for me, I think not settling down for anything is like knowing what you want in life, or knowing your purpose that you want to fulfill, or like putting up what you want to do. Because most of us, it's like we don't plan our life. And planning, like when you fail to when you plan and you fail, you plan again. But sometimes it's like we don't even have anything on paper. We are like, we wake up in the morning and then we are waiting for the next day and then see what God has for us. That is all what we have. But some people will also sit and take a pen and paper and plan their life for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to be. So even if the language is being a barrier, like I want to learn from the scratch, I'll do some 2 hours and then learn the language. But sometimes it's like combining the two. People will be like, hey, it's difficult. And you don't even get people around to also encourage you,
Yeah.
because they will tell you, yeah, bye, yeah, this is what's happened.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to follow the trend of going to school to know the language, then it means you keep long here. You see, can't buy. We came here
Mm-hmm.
because of money. But at the end, if you try and you struggle outside and you know your goals, what you want to achieve, after that, they will be calling you to take them to the offices to
Yeah.
translate for them. And every time they'll be bringing their letters to you for you to be reading for them. So we have to put on paper what we want to do, because sometimes it's not like you want to settle for less, but the situation will also put you somewhere you don't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And the example that I will give is what Sister Constance said. Sometimes we will come from Ghana with a degree or master's, and when you get here, you can't just walk into the bank and tell them you want to work in the Commerce Bank. No, you will start from somewhere. So for you to settle for less, maybe you start from a cleaning or something that maybe when you are in Ghana that they give to you, you will not do it. But then Since you've settled for less from that time, as you are going forward, what are your plans? What are your goals? What do you want to achieve? But when we fail to plan, we don't achieve anything. So for me, it cuts across in our relationship, in our marriage. Sometimes women, we think when we are married, we have the ring, we have children, that is all. But we end there. That is our life. And then you'll be walking around and they call you Mrs. Obolo, and you think, oh, that is all what you have to get in life. So settling for less, it cuts across. And some women will be like, oh, I've waited and waited and I'm getting 40. So any man that comes in, I'm ready to settle down with them and all that. And once in everyone's life, we've settled for less in a place or in a position, but we are still not there. So that is what I'll also chip in.
Thank you, Mrs. Obolo. Uh, Natalie says that, okay, that is for settling for less. Don't let anyone belittle you. Thank you very much. And Jennifer said that, exactly, Sister Sunshine. What about the ones who already settled for less? I think that has definitely been said by all three.
Yeah.
Once you are there, it can be you settle for less, but then start upgrading. Move from cleaning to learning the language, from the language, sorry, to building your own company of cleaning, probably. And, just move forward. Moving forward is the thing, because at the end of the day, somewhere in life, we all fall down. Yeah, but the failure is when you stay down. That is a
Mhm.
problem.
Yeah.
So don't settle for less. Make sure your goals are high. And Jennifer says again, Sister Sunshine's voice, man, I could listen to you the whole day.
Hey.
So that brings us in line with the next question, that is, give attention to your dreams. Most times we hear women saying, oh, I wanted to become, I wanted to do this, then I got kids. I wanted to do this, then I got married. It's like, as Ohima said earlier, when the ring is on now, life has ended. Now you live the life of your partner or somebody else. It's like when you have kids, actually everybody's getting up to 70, 80. With your kids with 20, that just say your life has ended. You can't go anywhere. So how will you encourage people to place value on their lives when it comes to paying attention to their dreams, whether in relationship, whether now getting into it in life? How will you come on that for me, please?
So I would say relationship can really slow someone down, You
Jennifer,
have
listen to your voice. Thank you.
what is actually about it. Relationship can actually it actually slows people down, because you are on your track going, not looking back, doing your own thing, And
Mhm.
then all of a sudden you get into a relationship and then it's a lot to think about, how to please the person and how to move with the person. Now you don't even know whether the person is being pleased by you, if the person wants to move with you. So now you will be taking, and women, we are homemakers, you understand? So no matter what, no woman makes a mistake by trying to slow down to get to know a partner and maybe making a family. So in this case, you would have to give yourself time, because if you don't give yourself time and you go according to your partner's time, you will waste time. So,
Okay.
so you actually have to give yourself time, studying and communicating. But when you realize that what you are communicating with your partner, no, his mind is somewhere else, and yours is, you are trying to bring together something so that you both will go forward together, and he's not inclined with you, I guess up to the time you have given yourself, you would have to start to work again on your own. That is, if you are able to tell him you are working alone, or you do it alone and he realizes it and it's good with him or it's not good with him, he or she backs out. Him, her, the person backs out. So why I'm saying that a relationship slows one down into what was your question, Minister? I need a word from what you said.
I
Like paying attention to your dreams.
Yeah. So you would actually realize that whilst you are planning with him or thinking alongside your partner, him or her, you would you lose yourself in the process of setting your goals or getting to your goals because you believe what you have said before you. With you alone you could make it, but with him is actually taking some time, or you discuss it with the person tells you, oh, you take time, let's do it this way, let's do it that way. Meanwhile you would realize that what the person's or your partner's idea that he's bringing, he's not actually adding any move to it. You understand me? He's not actually adding any move to it. So your plans actually tends to slow down, hoping that he's going to move with you, and he's moving in his own mind. He's moving according to whatever he's looking at before he will move with you. And that's set. So I would encourage all of us that we should actually be on our track, whether married or getting to know each other or single. Be on your track. Do what you think is good, provided you are not stepping on anybody's toes. And in life, you would always step on someone's toes. But you will have to do what you have to do because it's your life. At the end of the day, I always say it's your life, not our life. You, when the person is no more dead or alive, you would live, you would come to regret it, or you would say, had I known. You understand? So, in order not to use those words, do yours, do your best, and then the person also will appreciate you and chip into it when they see success in your on your path. Okay.
Okay. I think I don't know if we have something to say on that, but I think I'm a little bit confused here. Paying attention to your dreams, and then it sounded a little bit like I'm in a relationship. Now I want to use my path. I want to go my way, right? Whilst I'm in the relationship, I think it could bring up some conflicts. And if your partner is also not paying attention to your dreams that is supposed to be in line with his, I also think that there is a little bit of a question mark because normally before we get into a relationship, that is what we bring to the table. What do you have and what do I have? I want to be a pilot. Me too, I want to be a truck pusher. Okay, so how do we bring that in line? I think that is where it starts. But when it be like we are in it, I'm doing my thing, you are doing your thing, and later on you appreciate, sometimes this appreciation never comes. You understand? And also placing value on yourself starts from you. So you need to value the things that you want to achieve and communicate it. So that is why I got a little bit lost because like you are in a relationship but you're still doing your stuff. Or did I get you wrong?
No, you didn't, you didn't get me wrong. The whole thing is, like you said, what are you bringing to the table? Women, like I said, women are homemakers. The moment, unless it's a different kind of a woman, the moment a woman has a relationship and there's something she likes, she immediately starts dreaming. And so before automatically a woman will always communicate. It's men who don't communicate that much. You can take a breath. So it's men who don't communicate that much. So I would say a woman will always bring something to the table. Oh, honey, maybe I want to do this, or keep talking. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do this and that and that and that. It's all part of communication. And you'll see a man will just be listening. No. They will just be listening as if you're telling a story. Instead of maybe trying to get what you are saying. I think sometimes women too don't know how to communicate very well, even though they communicate. They will start talking like a story. Take what is important out. You understand? But men, as they are, they would only listen. Sometimes they don't even listen. They'll just keep on listening and not even help you to get to a final agreement on what you are actually bringing to the table. So that's what you said right from the beginning of the program. Men will say, "What are you bringing to the table?" Yet you brought something to the table, but they didn't see it.
Mhm.
You understand? So if we have met and I've checked all vital stats and everything is cool with me, man. And then I said, okay, let's roll together. And I start to tell you about my plans or my future or whatever. What do you think I'm telling? Anansi stories or what?
By the fireside.
So I'm actually bringing something to the table. So you could also meet me in the middle, or maybe I think like if you do it like this and like that, maybe to help us in the future. But this is whereby the man is not even prepared for the future. He would not even make any commitments by coming to tell you what to do or what he thinks. You understand? So that in future you come and tell him, hey, you promised that you failed.
Thank you very much. I don't know who is ready, Constance or Emma.
Okay, let me go. Paying attention to your dreams. Minister, one thing that can really push your dream aside is relationship. Relationship with the opposite sex. Sometimes a woman can be full of herself. She'll have all the dreams, but one relationship will come and spoil everything. You see, sometimes you see that, especially those within the age range of 20s. When you are in your 20s, like graduating, whether from the polytechnic, training college, you have a certain dream. But that is the time that you also, aside your dream, you're also thinking of settling down. So it's like you have this guy, but that is where usually we make most of our mistakes at that age bracket, because some guys, they see you as, oh, okay, you are my helpmate. You are just coming in. It's like that most of you see in relationships, the guys have their dreams and they want probably your support. But the moment it's like they see that, oh, this relationship is about this, you give birth to one or two, everything about your dream settles down. Your focus is now on the relationship. Whether sometimes maybe you might even marry or you might not marry, along the line you get pregnant, you don't want to sort of abort, you're a single mother. The hassles that you have to go through. How can you even push your dream through also taking care of a child and other things? Sometimes some spouses can be so troublesome. You might be a lady with so much potential. Just one relationship, one husband that you married will shatter all your dreams, because it's like the troubles he's giving you, you don't even have the time to focus. Yeah. So that is why sometimes, but at that age too, because it's like when you are being advised, people, we don't take it. It's like I've been a victim before, so sometimes I know what I'm talking about. It's like you have the dreams, but because of one guy, when the fantasies and other things, people see, oh, your guy is nice, so does this, he has some small car, he has some small apartment. You think you have landed. So it's like whatever you plan to do, your focus is a bit shifted. You want to do things to please him. So that women and our insecurities, you think, oh, is he going in for another lady? Am I in competition with another person? So those kind of things really distract us until you are like, no, I really need to get back. This is what I'd wanted to do. So it's a matter of balancing. If you always would write your dreams down, since then, everything that comes into mind, make sure I write it down so that you don't forget. You write it down, put timelines between it, and make sure you keep it at a place that almost every time it gets your attention. Other than that, you'll be off track. You will just go off track. Because there are a lot of things, and with the African community, we are not just alone. You have siblings, you have other families, you have friends who always have certain problems. That's maybe probably with the opposition, you need to help them. It's all sort of also distracting, because probably something that you could have saved to better up your life, you also need to sacrifice and give it to someone. Even look at the tithes we pay at church. You need to make calculation, the offerings, other things, a whole lot of things, other activities. And if we don't take time, it will really keep you off track. Really keep you off track. And other thing too is maybe a woman being so dependent on a man. They think that, oh, I need the man to help me before I can reach where I go. What if the man disappoints you? And most often now, most guys, just as they keep asking what we are bringing on the table. Now, no guy wants a lazy person to be with. They want somebody that you can contribute something to. probably a working class, some business, something little that generates money so that you can help.
Mhm.
So if we don't really keep on track, that sort of whatever you really wanted to achieve or you wanted to do for yourself, if we don't keep track, we might easily lose focus along the line. So it's better we always put our dreams down.
Mhm.
Whatever we wanted to do, keep it beside you. Make sure, even if you cannot do all, start from somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, relationship. Jennifer said that very true, Sister Constance. Yes. Okay, you made mention of a point, and I want to come back on that. You said that relationship can slow you down mostly when it comes to in a relationship with the opposite sex.
Yeah.
You can imagine what my question is. That means if you are in a relationship with the same sex, it can go well.
You know, relationship. You are talking about sexual relationship. Oh. We are talking about sexual relation, not just normal friendship.
Okay, okay. No,
Yeah, it's not normal.
the sentence got me there. You understand?
Uh-huh. I'm
Because you
talking of
said,
a sexual relationship. You know,
oh, okay.
a boyfriend, girlfriend, a fiancé, a husband, wife relationship. Yeah.
I got shocked. Say you've moved to the LGBTQFT.
Ah, no, not them, not them.
Tell him the way you're smiling, and the words are already at the back of the head.
Hmm. It's not easy. It's not easy. I think they've said it all, but what Sister Constance said, when we are like 20, from 20 years going, like we have our goals, we have our achievements, and then every lady like, we've set our goals in our head, like, this is what I want to be. At 25, I want to have a luxurious wedding. I want the town to know that I am here. I want to have kids. Like we all have good dreams in our future. Like I want to be an air hostess. I want to be that. I want to be this. And then sometimes you meet some people like they are just time wasters that they will just come into your life and waste your
Yeah.
time.
Mm,
They are just called time wasters. So for me, as Sister Constance said, like you need to write whatever thing that you want to do at every stage in life. You put it on paper. And if it is Mr. D that you want to date with, this is what I want in my life. This is what I want to do. If the person wants to stay, you stay. If you want to leave, you leave because it's becoming unbecoming that nowadays it's like women are going through traumas, sacrificing for men, and at the end they will just push you aside and go for another woman.
someone.
And secondly, it's like sometimes, they will give birth with you and then they will know that you are even not the right person that they want to settle down with you. And by the time that you will even gather after the scatter, like the emotional trauma, the things that you go through with your kids, with everything, before you even come to the top, you are just exhausted.
Mm,
So for me, don't settle for anybody. Don't settle for any man. Hey, this is what I want to do. That is me or him. If you want to stay, you stay. If you want to leave, you leave. Because sometimes we see the red flags, but then we close our eyes over it, thinking we can change people.
mm,
You can't change anybody. So for me, I think we need to write it on paper or in our diaries. When we were kids, we used to have diaries.
Yeah.
So at age 30, this is what I want to do. And I heard this adage like life begins at 40. So before I get to 40, this is what I want to do. Maybe living here in Germany, living here in Belgium, living here in Holland. This is what I want to build. I don't want to live here like my parents who have lived here like 40 years, who can't show anything. So you can't just depend your life on somebody who is not even thinking about you because,
mm,
excuse me for my language, some men you are sleeping with them, but you are sleeping with your enemy because they have their own plans for their life and they wouldn't even bring it on out for you to know. But they will be planning their life. I want to do my master's, and then hey, they are there. And men plan 10 years ahead, whilst you will be there and you'll be thinking about the kids, thinking about how to even lay things down for your family, for your man, for this. Sometimes put yourself first. So for me, this is what I want to say, like, know what you want and tell the person, this is what I want to do. You help me, we do that, or you do yours, I do mine. After we share everything, like we put everything here. Sometimes you take care of the kids. I also go out and have my me time and all that. But
Mm.
sometimes we are scared, we are afraid, we can't voice out, and you know the person that you are staying with. When I mentioned I want to have my me time, it will be war at home and all that. The other best whatever thing that you start with, that is what, that doesn't mean you don't respect or something, but let them know what you want so that you also have full life and live well. Amen.
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 God, thank you very much. And yes, we have our, let's say, fourth panelist. Let me add here. Looking gorgeous, Rosie in the house. Sunshine Bank, you understand? Welcome to TNT, Rosie.
Yes, Omeko did
Thank
not.
you.
Mhm.
Welcome.
Hey,
Thank you.
man,
No,
that
Rosie, position your camera a little bit, your phone, so that we can see your hairstyle.
hey,
Oh,
It's
that's
dreadlocks.
nice. Yes.
please, Constance, Constance, I don't like that. I keep calling, you didn't tell me to position my camera.
Oh, we are used to your hairstyle already.
Content Boy says that, amen again. Amen. I've missed you, oh, brother Content Boy. You understand? Right. I'll buy you a ticket to Frankfurt. There are some smiles going on this platform. So, Rosie, welcome. We are on
Thank
placing
you.
value on yourself. You made
Yeah.
mention of a lot. And since you just came in, I would say give us a brief, message on how to value yourself. Then we move to the last question, which leads to two last questions. The last question that leads to two last questions. And I want to hear what the women will say. So just give us what you understood in all the questions we gave, like accepting, you know, what
Yeah.
in finding way. No, no, no. What is it? The dreams, giving attention to dreams in a relationship, for example.
Um. Should I first answer the first question or just come to the last one with the relationship thing?
Let's go.
Okay. Sorry, my daughter has been disturbing. Um. The For me, placing value on yourself comes step by step. Some people can change like at a time or like the following day. Some people need weeks. So it's a step by step and knowing yourself thing. Because as I already mentioned in the comment section, there are some people that have been raised to feel less of themselves because of tradition and all these things. So meaning that when you grow up in such an household where you have like three younger brothers because you are the firstborn, you doing everything, you even submitting to the youngest one, even if he goes out to be rude on you, and everything, you have to be like the humble one because you've been trained. It's been put in your head that okay, you're the lesser one. It doesn't matter how old you are, if you're the older one or the younger one, you have to submit to the man because the man is always the head and bigger than you. So it takes time for you to, like, when you are in such a situation, to just change that ways. You need a lot of counseling. You need a lot of courage to go out of yourself, because placing value on yourself means you have to come out of yourself to appreciate who you really are. So that's what I would add at first. And then it coming to the relationship stuff, like you being in a relationship and you pausing the things you've planned for yourself.
Mhm.
Um, and having children and all of that. I before having getting married or having kids, um I never knew that it can be a bit challenging to pick up from what you left when you get married and you have
Yeah.
children. Being outside the box looks totally different like when you're in the box.
Yeah.
I used to think that, hey, okay, you have children, you can go for a nanny, you can do this, da da da, you can have time for yourself, you can do everything that you want, you can go to school. And then when I got into that box, I realized, hey, as a mother, it's not that
It's
easy
not
for you
as
to get a,
easy.
yes, it's
Yeah.
not that easy for you to just go up and get a nanny, because as a mother, you automatically trust no one with your child, meaning you have to be selective because you need a nanny that you trust. You have to feel comfortable when you're outside, because it doesn't make sense for you to go outside and not concentrate on the things that you're doing outside, because your mind is back home with your child, because you don't know what the person is doing with your child. Because we've been seeing so many things on social media, even at the school that you bring your child.
Yeah.
Even there, your child can be at danger when you place your child into the wrong hands. So
Mhm.
all these are like things, obstacles in the way that make things a bit challenging for us women. So then I realized that, hey, okay, it's not that easy. Sometimes you need to drop some things and pick it up later. It's like a puzzle, you know. As soon as you get married and you have children, it's like a puzzle. You have to place things at the right. Sorry, my child is a bit excited, so um you have to place the puzzles into the right position, because as soon as you place a wrong puzzle with a wrong pair, you see it becomes tight. You see it doesn't add up. So I think in these things, when you're a woman and you've placed so much value on yourself that, okay, I want to go back to school, I want to do this, I want to get back to my job. First, you need to realize that you need help, because you just placing value on yourself, you knowing that you have value, is just not it.
Mhm.
You get my point? So we know you place value on yourself, you can do it, but then you need the help from outside. I know, as our sister Ohima was saying, that there are some relationships, they are waste of time, some just don't allow you. Yes, but as soon as you see it and you know that this thing is making my me reduce the value on myself, speak to people,
Mm.
um change path, because anything that would make you go astray from that what you actually want to do in life, automatically the value of yourself drops.
Mhm.
If you like it or not, you can be as hard as you want, it drops, because you will see your mates outside there doing what you actually wanted to do, and you can't do it because of marriage and all of that. Speak to people, find a solution to it, because all these things add up to just uh, um it demotivate you, I'll say it in that way. So what I would add at last to it is that it's just not that easy. It's easier said than done when it comes to these things, but as soon as you have the help, as soon as you place the right puzzles, I think you can be a go-getter no matter what it is. And you need the right spouse as well to really push you in that field. That's what I want
Yeah.
to add.
Thank you very much. Sarah Side watching, and Julius, as well as Efia Maseda. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. And then we have our mama in the house. Mama Lit says that you spoke well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, yes, that is wonderful. We can see that this word has become part of us. So, easier said than done.
Mhm.
I refuse to admit that word, but okay. Okay, so she says that it is true what you are saying, my dear. Okay. So here comes, like I said, the last one that will lead us to the last two. So it starts with this: forgive yourself often. You know, in life, as mostly for women, men also, but mostly for women, let's say you make the wrong choice, you have a kid or you have kids, and you be like, if I didn't go for this mugu, if I didn't go for this, my life would have been this, my life would have been that. So everything you are doing is like you have this kind of, it's my fault, it's my fault, it is this. If I wouldn't have done this, this would have not happened. So when it comes to forgiving yourself of how important and how much does it create impact in one's life? First of all, you said it all, Rosie. Thank you from Natalie. Thank you. So, how does it create impact and how does it actually weigh someone down or how does it bring someone up when it comes to forgiving yourself?
Sunshine.
I also see signs on.
Where's the person to look at me? I can even
I
feel.
want Jennifer to listen to your voice.
Is it because I have cold? I'm talking like me, honey.
No, it's
Anyway,
your
No. It's the same voice that you always talk with. So.
wow.
sunshine voice.
Mm. Forgiving yourself, in the first place, you would have to learn to wear tough skin. As Africans, we have been trained or were brought up in an environment where I always say we actually grew tougher than maybe Europe, where you see someone at my age will say, I am depressed. And I look at the person, I'm like, do you even know what is depression? You understand? You get up, you drink Gary soaking without sugar. That is enough for you to be able to know that life isn't butter and bread, So before you get to the stages where you will start to forgive yourself, why don't you accept the mistakes that you made as part of life? Like I always say, like if it should not happen to you, like it should happen to who? Who should it happen to? Like things happen, people lose their children, things do happen, weird things do happen. It has to happen to somebody. For the next person looking at you, watching you, should also learn something from it. Life is just a learning phase in which we are in this world. So I don't think that in the first place we should hold everything so dear to our hearts that you will break down to the extent of coming to forgive yourself. Now, when you get to that stage also, you should then be quick enough to forgive yourself and not live on regrets, because I always say regrets is a waste of time. Like it happened to you. If you have learned some, definitely you should learn something out of it and then move on. So if you want to live in the regrets and wallow in the regrets and do self-pity party, like how many people do you want to invite to that party? Me, I cannot be a part I cannot. So you see, before you get to the extent of forgiving yourself, you have to be strong. Life is for the fittest, is for the strongest. You have to be strong and take everything that comes your way. If you are down for a day or two, a week is enough. Put yourself together, shake off, and then move on. Like other than sitting down and looking around and looking at all the messes you caused, and to the extent that you have to forgive. And some people can go to the extent of they cry themselves to sleep and they drink and they become something else. Like, and that is why you have actually lifted the value on yourself. Cry and even thrown it away by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have thrown it away by yourself. Who should now go and pick it for you? It's not easy for somebody to come and put the puzzle together in your life. You should learn to put the puzzle together yourself, because you know yourself better. You know what you can do. You know what is too much for you. So before you get to the extent of forgiving yourself, learn to be strong before you get there. And if you have to forgive yourself many times as you can, because it is your life. You are going to account for it alone. It is your absolute responsibility. Your life is your life. You don't share it with anyone, not even with your children. If you die today, you are going alone. If you have to go and account, you're going to account for your life solely alone. So if you have to forgive yourself, if you have to make mistakes, if you have to cry, do everything and forgive yourself as many times as you can, because it is part of life. Challenges are part of life.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
Amen.
much. There are comments coming in.
This one, you say easier said than done.
Easier said.
It's actually not too difficult. It's actually not too difficult. You know, there are some people who think very deep, and I was trying to think of something to get an idea of life a few days ago. Minister, don't laugh. You know, we have different kinds of Christians. That is how I thought about it, and so I would like to share. We have different kinds of Christians. We have Christians who practice Christianity very easy, like me. I don't want any stress. We have people who will practice Christianity like very deep. They want to make meaning into everything that passes in front of their nose. They want to make, so in this case, then you have to be a very prayerful, fastful, you understand, to be able to. So if you take life, everything that happens around you very seriously and think deep, very deep into it, and ask yourself, why should it happen to me and me and me and me? And this is where you start to fall. This is where you start to always feel down. You're always down. But if you have to understand that it's part of life, it happens, you would get up, shake yourself, and move on. I guess it's very easier said than done.
You've contradicted yourself again. It's very easy to do than saying, maybe as you want to put it.
I wanted to end it by your word.
uh But we have different kinds of people and how they react to situations. I know somebody who is still, in fact, that person ended up in the psychiatric section, a certain woman who was like responsible for her child's death. And up till now, she's not able to overcome it. She feels so responsible. It's been so much. And we also have people who are like probably some wrong relationships that they went into. They are still there brooding over it, thinking, no, I am the one who made the mistake. I am the one. Everybody and how they react. That's why I always say that every individual, there's something we call temperament. You need to steady yourself, know how you react to situations. There are some people who easily, when a problem comes, they solve it. It's sort of, they leave it behind, concentrate on the next. But there are some people, they always have to be there thinking, and the worst thing is they blame themselves. You see, they always want to accept every blame that it is their fault every time. It's very difficult staying with such people. They don't talk much. You see them moody all the time. They are very quiet, but everything tells you that something is wrong with that person. Forgiveness is not an easy thing, especially forgiving oneself. Sometimes you can even forgive somebody, but forgiving yourself, because it's like every time the little situation that reminds you, then you come back to that mood. It's like the scene is replayed in your mind. You think, hey, this is what I did, especially where you did something wrong and maybe something is not going on in your life well. Then it's like you go back, oh, because of this that I did, because of somebody's money that I stole, because of one abortion that I did, that's why I'm no more giving birth in my marriage. So it's every time it's like you are blaming yourself, instead of letting go, being free of your spirit, let your spirit be free. Most often we say that mistakes do happen. It's always better to listen to certain motivational
I
speakers.
think this time it is my connection, right? Am I on?
Are we okay?
Yes,
Yes, we can hear you. Okay. That's why I said that sometimes it's always best to look at certain motivational speakers, certain speeches. When you are in certain situations, you don't have to just keep to yourself like that. When you study the life of KFC, some Sundays, sometimes Sundays, he failed. Almost every part of his life was a failure until he got to the age of almost getting to the age of retirement. That he saw that he could just fry this, make this crunchy chicken, started distributing within the area. And that was the time he was going on pension. If you study his life from school, he was a total failure that nobody even would even write something good about him.
I'm sorry.
From the family, the wife, that everything was a mess. He kept moving. In fact, his last resort was to even commit suicide and just go, because his whole life has been a total failure. Just went for his pension check. It decides that, let me just do this last chicken. I mean, he spies it well, shared it among people, and that is where the breakthrough came.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If he were to be anybody, probably at the second failure, he would have just ended his life. But sometimes we don't know what is in store for us. If we keep hanging on to the past, how would we even move on and probably make something good in future for ourselves? The past, mistakes, certain mistakes hurt, but they are in to also sort of be a lesson to us. Me, for all the mistake I did in my 20s, it has been a correction point for me in my 30s towards my 40s. It has really opened my eyes. Things that um way back when I was 24, 25, I was thinking between age 35, I wouldn't be doing those things because it's like, oh, I've done it, it didn't go well. So this is the eye opener for me. Let me do it this way. And things are really going into place. But for those who are so weak-willed, who can, especially people that we call them melancholies, they're very introvert people.
Mm-hmm.
Melancholies. They have a lot of this. Melancholies and the cholerics, those who don't have patience. The melancholics are the ones who are very quiet, introverts. But it's like, as we say, those who are very quiet, they are even the worst, the snake and the grasses. They would be there brooding over things that was done in the past and other things. They will be thinking, and they will always also be thinking of a revenge.
Mm-hmm.
You see, instead of focusing, learning from the mistake that this is what have happened, let me move. They will even be dwelling on the past, thinking of a revenge, how to pay the person back, or probably the person who really caused me pain at this point in time. And look at the time spent, the energy spent thinking about all these things. Probably you could have put that effort in doing something better for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So these are some of just the few points that we can really learn to sort of let go of the past. The past is in the past. There is nothing you can do about it. It's already done and gone. It's just like going back to your ex, an ex who abused you. And after sometimes you saw yourself over a long time, you think, oh, you are back again. He's into even finish you off altogether.
Thank you very much. Rosie, I can see that you're also ready to say something.
Yeah. What I would say is forgiveness comes. I'm talking out of like experience. Forgiveness comes with like three things: letting go, seeing the sense in it, and moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Because I personally used to be the quiet type that anytime anything happens, because I don't have the enough arguments, because I'm that type that when it comes to like an argument or a discussion, I don't say what I want to say, but after everything has been pulled on me, when I go to bed, I'll be thinking, I should have said this, I should have done that. You know, and
Sometimes it
Now
happens.
right now, say this house.
Yeah.
yes,
When everybody is gone, it's now that you remembered everything.
exactly. Yes. And sometimes I used to be the type that I'll be triggering, trying to pick up that conversation to say those things that I couldn't say, but you'll realize it will never pop up again because that person is like over it. And you'll be there, you'll be thinking, and you'll not be forgiving the person and yourself, like, because you couldn't express yourself how much you wanted it. So I think going deeper into the first point that I mentioned with letting go is that sometimes it's better for you to just cut it off, to just say, okay, it happened, fine, okay, I'm dropping it. It doesn't matter if it was all pulled on my neck or anything. I can't change it. I won't change, even if I get back into that conversation and I say the things I wanted to say. If that person was ready to believe you or accept you at that point, you wouldn't have needed to waste so much time in discussing, because someone that wants to believe you will believe you right from the very first time. And then seeing the sense in it is as in seeing the sense of why you should forgive the person and yourself, because the sense in you need to understand why the sense in it for it to be easier for you to forgive. Because as soon as you see the sense and forgiveness, you'll realize that as soon as you forgive someone, you're getting load off yourself. You think less about the person, and that is the sense in it. Because a lot of people forget thinking of it making sense. Because our sister Constance said something about listening to motivational speakers. I used to listen to them a lot, but I never saw the sense in it. Like, okay, forgive that, let go. But why should I let go? What is the sense in it? Oh, because the person hurts me so much. The hurt is before you. So then you'll see the sense in it that, okay, the person has moved on. Why don't you move on? Even if the person apologizes, maybe he's just saying it for saying sake. So see the sense in it that you are doing yourself the good, and that is the sense in it for you to be able to get to the next point, that is moving on. Meaning, like someone like Minister D, he's someone that when you do something to him, he can forgive you and just still get along with you. I used to be the type that when you do me something and I'm so hurtful about it, I don't mind not talking to you anymore. But then I going along with him, I learned that, okay, forgiving the person, it making sense to you that you are getting offload yourself and moving on, doesn't mean that you have to become an enemy to that person, or you have to like ayaka for the rest of your lives. Because you as soon as you feel good and the person that hurt you sees you doing good, the person will realize that maybe, hey, I didn't do wrong, and automatically it will come back and you get back into the conversation, and maybe the apology that you expected some years back will maybe come back at that time, or you'll just make amends with yourself, and you automatically be able to move forward. And that is what makes a lot of people just stand at a point where they don't place that value on themselves again, because they've not been able to forgive themselves and forgive the person that hurt them. Because some people can hurt someone so deep that some words like a man to a woman, a husband and a wife, some men can say so filthy things to a woman that you can be the most the Madonna of all lifetimes, that is so confident, you look good, you have this, you have that, but a word of your spouse that has seen your nakedness can make you feel so less of yourself that if you don't snap back, you will never get back to that stage of valuing yourself. So as soon as you forgive the person and you pick up again, you'll be like, hey, you said it. It's your own deal. You have to deal with it yourself. I'm not like that. I've forgiven you. I've forgiven myself. I'm placing back that value on myself even the more, the double. So that's what I want to add to it.
Thank you very much. I personally think that not forgiving is one thing, and not forgiving yourself is the other thing, because it comes with a weight that you might never move forward. I personally think that sometimes the people around you helps you not to forgive yourself, because some people will keep repeating that statement, that issue, that offense,
Keep
whatever,
reminding you. Oh my God.
day in, day out. 10 years later, you remember you
Mhm.
stole that money. You steal money. 20 years later, you steal money. You do every time you find it, you cannot find it anywhere to forgive yourself. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes after a while, let things go. If the person is bringing that money back or is changing or whatever, you can accept it, right? So those people would never let you forgive yourself. And it's very important to forgive yourself, because whenever you have that weight, like I said, you can never move forward. And there are some people too, apart from forgiving themselves, they never forgive. And they always bring those things back. And it
Mhm.
is very difficult when you are in a relationship with someone who cannot forgive herself or himself, or cannot forgive you, because you always have to reflect back. And life goes forward. I always say to my beautiful queen that, even the clock, it goes forward. So why you, the human being, would like to go back?
Go back.
You
Yeah.
understand? So it's like you are working against nature. Forgiving doesn't mean you should be the best of friends with someone, but you can move on. But to forgive yourself is very important to let go. Somebody will say that when you have conflict with somebody, the person has forgiven you, are forgiving the person is sleeping, and you are like, hey, I shouldn't have. You wake up, the person has clocked 1 million because you went ahead to play lotto, and you are still like, I shouldn't have. So you see, it's tiring. That is one thing. And let me quickly read the comments so that we finalize it for today. Jennifer said, Sister Constant, thank you for telling us to start our day with a smile. I started practicing that since this week. I felt awake. Yeah, sure, yeah. At the
Awkward.
beginning,
It felt
it
awkward.
felt awkward. Sorry. At the beginning, but I love it now. It automatically makes my day better every day. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you too.
Say thank you. Add money to it. I understand. Forgive yourself because making mistakes is part of life. Oh. You just have to learn from your mistakes and choose to be better.
Yeah.
I don't call them necessarily mistakes. I call them experience. It can be positive, it can be negative. The most important thing is change your lifestyle. You understand? Regret doesn't bring you anything. Cry, shout, and move on with your life. Thank you, Natalie. Jennifer said, I'll continue talking, Sister Sunshine. She's speaking for me again. I can't say anything. Right now, I don't know, was it Sunshine or Constance? Forgive yourself is a process. Forgiving yourself is a process, but you just have to do it. Thank you very much. Easier said than done. Rosie, your hair is so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Sarah Side says that forgiving yourself is the hardest thing anyone can ever do. So she comes back to easier said than done. Sister Constance, that is from Country Boy. It was said today that I worry about things too much, but I am putting it into prayers, I believe. I really enjoyed this session. You ladies are amazing. Thanks for educating us. Maybe our ladies, I don't ever hear you. Well said. Natalie said that motivational speakers are not the reality. To forgive only takes the grace of God. Yes. Yes, that is true of God, and it also takes a lot of backup, whether we like it or not. And it takes you back to what I said with coming up. I think Rosie was saying something like sometimes somebody will say something, she doesn't know how to put on arguments, and later on, if you grew up with the kind of mother I grew up with, before somebody will start with a sentence, you have ended it. You know, the life experience that it's like you're always watching out. So sometimes somebody will be like, pa, 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 I give to you. So when you have said yours, I've said mine, I didn't insult you, and we are fine. Why should I pull it? The only difference is that if you were like this, now we are just like this. You understand? Because it's not everyone who is supposed to know your secrets whilst you know that person can be poisonous. But after you have pushed the person a little bit away, you are still probably working with that person. You have to admit that maybe that situation was a mistake, but hey, now you have changed it, so life goes on. Okay, let's bring it. I said I don't like this sentence, easier said than done. But you know, the thing is that I still don't want to admit it because even if it's difficult, you practice it. And when you practice it, it becomes part of you. I have never seen anything on this earth that anybody wants to achieve and have started changing something in his or her life that was not even able to go to 10%. You understand? So sitting there saying it is difficult, it is not possible, it cannot, it is this, wouldn't change the fact that that thing has happened, right? So please learn to forgive yourself because you can't be your own enemy. When you are your own enemy, things might scatter. So the last question, like I said, 2 questions, but I'll just squeeze it to. We have ladies here on the platform. and Mekon decided not to join. My question is for you. How do you want your partner to see you, or rather put it this way, how do you want your partner to value you after you have valued yourself? What are the kind of things that people will be like, hey, he doesn't, German say, he doesn't value me, the way he talked to me, the way he said this, the way he said that. How will you want your partner to see you or value you? Because at the end of the day, how you want to see yourself is how you want your partner to see you. So that is the last question for today, probably. How do you want your partner to value you?
I think I just want my partner to um, see me as I am, help me shape myself, respect me, and just push me. Because as soon as your partner accepts you for who you are, that is where he can help you work on yourself and help you move forward. Because if your husband does not or your boyfriend or your father, your mother does not accept you for who you are, the person, even if the person is trying to help you, the person will never be able to help you as much as you needed. Because yeah, it's you. Uh, because that person sees you to be like someone else. So as soon as the person accepts you for who you are, it's easier for him or her to help you to get to where you want to go to. So and when the person respects you, no matter the decision you take, he or she respects that decision and advises you on some certain things. Because when respect is not there, most of the times it's very difficult to move forward, and that is when misunderstandings escalate. You just don't understand each other. You don't want to understand each other. So as soon as these things bind up together or become one, um that is when you can be the best of yourself. So that's actually the things that I need from my spouse or the person I am with to place that value on myself or to move forward.
Thank you very much. Next lady.
Okay, so to add to what Rosie just said, one thing I always say is every human being is valuable, no
Is
matter what.
mhm,
Nobody is worthless.
mhm,
Once you're a human being, what we might sort of disagree on certain things, but that doesn't make you worthless. So much as I value you, I expect you also to value me.
mm,
And the worst thing that will really pain you, it's being with your partner who does not value you.
mm,
In fact, you are better off separated, because it's like you chose your partner amongst everybody because of certain values or certain qualities. But then if you come together and you're like, no, something is not right. This person, the way he talks to me, the way he treats me, it makes you feel so valueless. If
mhm,
you don't take time, if you don't stand on your grounds, a time will come you might think that is who you are. Because when somebody, it's just like telling a child, oh, you're a fool, you're a fool, you're a fool. So at a point in time, you think, yes, then I'm a fool. You see, so you don't be with somebody who does not value you.
mhm.
And how do you say subai? You say
Your
subai to say means come again.
character, attitude.
A character, huh? Character, it's like pregnancy. You can't hide it forever, no matter what, it will come out.
Mhm,
So that is why it's always advisable that we know our partners very well before really committing into the relationship. Because sometimes that is where the challenges are. Some people are like they are like a sheep, wolf in sheepskins.
mhm,
They will present themselves nicely because they want certain things from you. But the moment they get you, start seeing their real characters. You see, it's not easy because if your spouse or probably your partner do not value you, in fact, I don't think your self-esteem will be up, because everything that you are, you start from the home. It
Mm-hmm.
starts from the house. If everything should go well, whatever transpired in the house will be exhibited outside. If your partner really treats you well, right from the outside, people see you and they see a certain kind of radiance around you. It's like, oh, it's not about money, it's not about material things, but certain words that are spoken to you. Words are very powerful, as we've said some time back. Certain
Mm-hmm.
things, that's the one thing that somebody will tell you. Just as Rosie said, you can even be the Madonna, you can be something, but if your partner says something to you, it can hurt you so much that if you don't take time, it's going to really weigh on you. So the best thing is know your partner very well. And most often when they start, don't let them continue. You also have to be on your ground. The moment you say that, hey, give the first warning that no, honey, I am not what you are saying. Better withdraw your statement. Apologize and let's move on. And make sure you don't use this kind of words on me again. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you keep quiet, as if you are afraid of your partner, they will keep doing it and doing it and doing it until you feel so valueless. You think, oh, for me, nobody wants me, or probably this narcissist, they will see certain things as if you are apart from him, nobody values you. He's the only one who cares. And meanwhile, he's abusing you. Spoiling all everything about you. So it's high time we open our eyes. It goes to both sexes, the men and the women. There are some women, when it even comes to certain words, some women, their mouths are even sharper than swords. They can say something to you. I tell you, you the man, you feel so valueless. Sometimes some men will say, hey, and my wife doesn't respect me. It's all about the words, the kind of words she's using to you.
Yes.
As for you, look at your fellow men. You are not a man. You have, certain things that she will say to you. I tell you, some men would not even, they don't even feel like coming back home from work. They feel like hanging around with friends and that, all because the house is not safe for them. And when we go through such things, then yeah, there's no way for us.
Mm.
We really need to value ourselves. We really need to say nice words to our spouses and ourselves. In that way, we value each other.
Thank you very much. In
Yeah.
case you tell me you are not a man, look at your fellow man. I'll tell you you're.
You
I'll
say
tell
what?
I'll tell you you're a lesbian. If you tell me I'm not a man, you like.
That's one thing that really pain men.
Oh, I tell you.
Yeah, so look at your fellow men. This one is doing this, but you look at you. Then start doing, some will take alcohol, they'll put solace in alcohol, drinking, trying to forget
And
what that was said to
they'll
them.
start
Yeah.
abusing you. Sunshine, give us the last word and shine for that light.
So I would say before you actually start dating somebody or want to marry someone, that person belongs to a family. I would say first watch when you go into someone's family to ask of their child or their daughter or when you go and date their, see how the family is treating that man
Mm.
or that woman. Me, my mother, she treats me like a queen. She treats me like a princess. Irrespective of our differences, we fight a lot, but she admires me. She makes me feel good. I love her. I also relate to her as a mother. You
Mm.
understand? So if you, a man, come into my life and you cannot just make me feel good, are you my fighting partner or you are my enemy? If you cannot place a value on me, you cannot make me feel good. You don't make me feel like the queen my mom makes me feel like. Then I guess you're actually at the wrong address. You've
Mm.
actually aren't at the right place. So as much as I want to be treated and I want to feel like a queen, I would make you a king so that you can make me feel like a queen.
Wow. Jennifer, did you hear that? Wow, thank you very much. I don't know if you are done, but I love that last word. Thank you very
Um,
much. Actually, I have to also admit and see somebody gave an angry emoji. I would like that person to explain him or herself why angry emoji if somebody wants to be treated right. If you want to be abused, the ball is in your court. You can be abused, but everybody wants to be treated right. I personally think that you should be. How do you want your partner to see you? You should have a partner who always have joy in his or her eyes and feelings in the heart whenever you are progressing. That one that always want to motivate and push you up. You know, that person, that partner who is selfless. It's all about how do I make her get there? And if that is mutual, it is the same on the other side, it becomes a wonderful relationship because you want to see the best of me, I want to see the best of you. When we add up, of course, we are going to the sky. Than to bring you cry, what did your mother teach you? What did your father teach you? Look at the way you are dressed. If you want your wife to dress, your partner to dress, your husband to, there are many ways to go about it. Not look at what is this, how is that? Because you don't dress in tea, I went for another. You are mad. You understand? And we don't bring madness in a relationship because when the two comes together, that relationship is already insane, positively insane. We don't need that negative insanity in that kind of relationship. So I will plead with everyone. First of all, you need to value yourself to have a stand. Because when you think you are standing, as the Bible says, and you are not firm, anybody can just move you down. Anybody can just wave you off your feet. You understand? But then when you know your grounds, like I always say, there's one thing we sing in church, I know who I am, once we never know who we are. Because the things that happens to us, we'll be like, hey, me pa me nanka, why not happen to that person? You understand? So it's like you are worshiping God, but you don't have faith in God. And that is how we live our lives. I know who I am. I'm from a royal home, and then immediately something happens. Hey, or whatever they call it, and they start crying. You see? So please, you need to value yourself because if you don't value yourself, you cannot expect someone with a different mentality, with a different character, whatever, to now come and admit to you and value you. One thing we have to know, if I myself, but then we have partners that build self-esteem. You understand? Don't get me wrong. I'm saying if you don't value yourself, how should somebody now come and value? Because you yourself, you don't value yourself. But we have partners that build their partner's self-esteem because they see that, okay, you are weak. I am a little bit strong. Let me boost your spirit. And that is what we need in relationship. My plea is whether man or woman, you need to value yourself to be able to value your partner because you can only give what you have. What you don't have, you can't give. That is the first thing. And people around you, whenever you get to know that people around you are bringing you down, please wake up early enough to move away from those people. Because mostly the only reason why they are down is because they envy you, they fear your spirit when you become strong. And that is what is happening in the society that many, many, many men, forgive me for that, are oppressing their wives because they know that if this woman gets a stand somewhere, who am I? In the same way, they know that you, this man, I brought you from Ghana. If you now have papers and everything is moving, who am I? Because already I don't have that self-esteem. I think my ear is this, my this is that, my dad is that. There are beautiful women out there. So you need to value what you have. And trust me, there's nothing like ugly man, ugly woman. You know, in Africa, we say men don't need beauty. But there's nothing like that. Beauty comes from within and it shines through, you know, the appearance and your act. So all I'm saying is that it is very important to place value on yourself because people have ended up in a psychiatric home because of not believing in themselves. People have committed suicide because they don't believe in themselves. People are depressed and a lot of things. So we should just bring ourselves and please be the one to motivate for this session, this topic, and how you ladies were able to break it down last week and this week. I've learned a lot, and I believe we have all learned a lot. Thank you all for joining in. I think we have some last comments. Let me quickly go on that. Jennifer, I heard it too. Sister Sunshine, adopt me. Everybody's adopting you. There we go. We don't need madness. No, we don't need madness. So true, Uncle Derek. Please, you just put the uncle is disturbing. You are still a princess. You are my, is it? Your ma is the queen. Okay. We cannot have two queens in one family. Wait for your time, Princess Sunshine under the ring. Please don't dig your grave. Oh. Let's stop Please, next week topic will come probably by Tuesday. This time I'll make it very quick so that you can share and add up. But I think we are taking a journey to, I think the middle of February or ending of February, we are getting a little bit into religion. I believe I said that before. And I want us to have our values in the religion and also know where we are coming from. Because whether you like it or not, whether you're a prophet or a demon, I don't care. We have been lied to for a long time. It's time we it is time we wake up. I said something in one of our platforms that the most difficult thing for an African man is to realize that he's wrong for over years. So before he will change, he will rather continue with the mistakes, dress it very beautiful, and continue depressing and oppressing people. You see? So we want to keep that thing off, and it is coming very soon. It is coming very soon. I have a woman of God who will also be joining us, I think. But I really mostly prefer our people that are here that we have similar experience and everything to share because, when it comes to those high pastor, prophet, motivational speaker, whatever, they have gotten to a level that actually what they are saying, everything seems normal to them. But when you come to the life of a normal person, you find out that it's easier said than done.
Yeah, it's easier said than done.
So thank you very much.
But next week we'll be getting towards the Valentine season.
Yeah, so
Next week is the
is there
13th.
anything on your heart?
Pre-Valentine, so probably we could talk around that.
Okay, hey. Okay, then we'll get to the Valentine, and I think we'll come up with a wonderful topic. And then please follow up, share, like, comment, and add up. And if you have a question, if you have any suggestion, just add up on our platform. We'll definitely break it down and see how far we can go with it. I just want to bless your week. I just want to make sure that this week is going to be a blessed week. But I won't say much because Constance said it. Start your day with a smile, and that is how you're going to end it. God bless you all, and have a nice week.
Yeah, have a nice week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.